A good one?
Yeah.
And it's got a special MVC3 package here that I can use to install. And all that does is it wraps some additional code in to just do the initialization for us, or at least get us started with configuring this for our service. I'll say I accept. It's going to install a couple of different dependencies as well.
But one of the nice things about, as he waits for that to install, one of the nice things about NuGet, which again I have a talk later today and we'll go more deep into it, is that this used to take a lot of steps in order to get dependency injection set up. But with this package, it sets up just about everything for you except defining what dependencies to inject because, well, there's got to be something for you to do so you can get paid the big bucks, right?
Right. And that's exactly what it added here is an app start set of code that looks different than the actual last time I did this. So you may actually have to walk me through this part.
Register services.
So register services, and then this will be the code where we map something that we ask for to something that we can provide, right?
Exactly.
And so let's actually create the services really quickly. So I'm just going to add a new folder for our services, keep things nice and clean here, and I'll add a new class. And what the service will create, we'll just make this a message service. What do you think? I'll just call it message service. Does that work for you?
Que aburrido. Let's do something more interesting.
What did you just say?
Aburrido. That means boring.
Is that an insult?
Yes. These guys know what I said, right? Or maybe not, because I heard my Spanish was so bad that people did not understand it.
I didn't understand it.
So let's create an interface, and let's call it I, Oracle of Wisdom.
OK, I was just going to extract the interface. So I'm just going to call this Oracle of Wisdom.
Oh, then call it Magic 8 Ball.
Magic 8 Ball?
Yeah.
You're confusing me now.
Well,
all right.
Remember,
and what is this class
there's a separation between the concrete class and the interface. So it has a ask.
Don't tell me it's
method.
going to be a get message method, is it?
No, it's going to be ask.
Okay.
And then string question.
Okay.
So you ask it a question, and it'll return an answer. So something like the prospect is or no, or yeah. Now, if we had more time, we'd do a random number generator and give you like one of 8.
What should I return? What is it? Messy, or what's the other answer?
The prospects are cloudy, right?
Oh, okay. I was going to go back to the soccer thing, but I figured I'll probably just offend
We've overplayed that
people.
one.
All right. Prospects are cloudy. People know what that means? All right.
Oh, fine. So now what you need to do is extract your interface.
Now, why do I need the interface?
Because what I'm asking him to do is create an interface because typically this Magic 8 Ball class would actually be in another project. Now we're taking some shortcuts, because we're demoing it, but we don't want to be tied to the actual interface, the actual concrete class. We just want to specify an interface. So call it something like I, Oracle of Wisdom. And the basic idea is my controller wants to ask a question and get an answer back, and I don't care who implements it as long as they implement that interface, the contract.
Okay.
So there could be many implementations of this. We have Magic 8 Ball, but we could have one that calls a web service that then asks Stack Overflow that then returns us a question, right? The possibilities are endless. But we don't have time to build a Stack Overflow version, so we'll use the cheapo Magic 8 Ball.
OK, great. So if I'm going to use this, then I'm going to say what did you call it again? Oracle of Wisdom?
Yep.
And I'll be smart here and pull in. Oh, I just generated a new class. That was nice.
Yeah, don't do that.
Did I misspell it or something?
Maybe.
What did I do?
Go ahead and
Let's look at my services. I, Oracle of Wisdom.
Oh, you misspelled it.
Wisdom.
And then go delete the one you generated.
Yeah, that's fine.
So you notice when he gets the tooltip, just in case you didn't notice, he's hitting Control Dot, and that actually expands the tooltip and gives you the ability to import namespaces. So if you ever see someone do that so quickly and you're wondering how did they do that, it's Control Dot.
Yep. And then you say, I can either say using, or I can tell it to actually just explicitly use the namespace. Cool. So we got that. So I, Oracle of Wisdom, and we'll call this just Wisdom. And then equals new message, right? Why not?
So at this point, we don't want to have our controller have a concrete reference to the Magic 8 Ball type. So just set that to I, Oracle of Wisdom, semicolon.
You know when you asked that question, who's not heard of dependency injection? I should have just raised my hand up here. No, I'm just kidding. All right.
And we're going to let someone else, we're going to let MVC give us the actual instance that we need to use.
OK. And I'll actually make this private instead of public.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And then we'll make this public. home controller. So we'll create a controller or a constructor then that actually takes an I oracle of wisdom.
That's right.
Right? And we'll probably name this different than our field.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's probably a good idea too. I'm using all kinds of really good coding practices here. So wisdom, I'm fumbling all over the place.
Where'd you learn to type?
You know, I didn't learn in front of a demo god like yourself. So. So now I can run this and I'll have an I oracle of wisdom, right?
Well, let's actually call the wisdom somewhere so we can actually see the results. So like view bag of message equals, underscore wisdom, ask a question, right?
Okay. Wisdom. Ask.
How am I doing?
How am I doing typing? Okay. And then, all right, good. All right, now I can run it, right?
Yep.
And it's going to work. What? I still spelled it wrong.
Okay, now you can compile it. Will it work?
It's going to work, right?
Does it blend?
Because I know it, yeah, it doesn't blend. If you don't know what does it blend is, you have to check that out.
Yeah.
In fact, give me your iPhone. I want to do an experiment with it.
What is taking so long?
Well, I get... You've seen my equipment perform today.
Oh, yeah. So I think we're about to witness another blue screen.
Yep, exactly. So that'll be awesome.
So
what's going on here? It's like the next best thing. It's like some kind of debugger.
Oh, okay.
catch.
Oh, so maybe the mode you're in is. So what we got there was an exception because we're trying to fulfill the contract. You asked for an I oracle of wisdom, and we want to give you one, but you haven't told us how yet. So you've set up an inject, but you still got to set up the bindings. And now, setting up the bindings is specific to whichever dependency injection framework you chose. Now you're in the world of your dependency injection framework of choice. You're not in our world. You're not in MVC world. So however you do this is really dependent on that. But if you used dependency injection before, it'll feel very comfortable. You register these dependencies just as you would have done in the past.
Now you're going to love this. The old MVC3 inject had a little tooltip there or a little to-do. I told you what to type. So you're going to have to tell me what to type because I don't remember.
Kernel.bind.
Kernel.bind.
And then a bind is a generic method. Oh, no, so generic.
Oh, generic, got it.
And now you specify the interface, I oracle
wisdom.
And then open close parens after you close this.
Yep.
Yeah, and then after the space, .2. So what's neat about an inject, and then the brackets again, you can, with an inject, you can use the bind method, and you specify the type using a generic argument, and then you specify what the concrete type is by chaining a to method call on it.
Okay, so let's just take a look at that really quick.
Alt-Shift-Enter.
Okay.
No, I was saying you got to learn the Alt-Shift-Enter.
Alt-Shift-Enter. You and Hanselman have all of these magic keystrokes in your head that I just can't fit. I learn one and I forget another.
Yeah, so that's a good one if you're giving a presentation. Alt-Shift-Enter and then do it again to get out of that mode.
When I presented this with Hanselman, he visibly got upset with me for forgetting keystrokes.
Well, how do you think I learned?
Yeah. All right. So can we run this now?
Yeah.
All right. Yes! It worked. No applause? Come on.
Let's switch back here.
Okay.
So just to recap, what we showed there was a really, really simple example of dependency injection. But of course, if your object itself, if the Magic 8-Ball itself had dependencies and so on and so forth, using inject, we could have created the entire object graph, pass that into the controller, and you would have been off to the races.